Hello, everyone. I am drunk, just so everyone is aware, just so we're on the same page. I am drunk because I have been drinking on airplanes for the last 6 fucking hours. Joshua, how are you?
I am stone cold sober. Sadly.
God damn it. Why? Why would you be stone cold sober?
It's still a little bit early here, and even if it wasn't, it's a school day. It's a school night tomorrow, so.
It's a school night for me, too. You want to know why it's a school night for me?
Why?
Because I have to get up at the ass crack of dawn because Trump is doing a rally at the Ellipse at the White House, which is like not that far away from my hotel, and I have to be there at 7 a.m. for when the doors open.
Okay. All right. Well, you get to see straight away after this.
Well, I don't know that that's going to happen, but I'm wearing, people are commenting on my hat. I'm wearing a hat. It is not, it is nice. I like this hat. I knitted this hat. I knitted this hat in 2 days.
That's amazing. That's really fast. Yeah.
Oh, it's not very much knitting. I mean, it's got some fuzzy yarn in it, and I like the gold quite a bit. But I knitted this hat.
The maroon looks like it's a crown shape. Is that, you know what I mean? It looks like a crown.
Should I wear it like this? Should I wear it more proper, like a crown?
I think however you would. No, I liked it before. I like it.
You liked it like that? Well, I knitted this hat because I knew I was going to be outside all day tomorrow, and I wasn't sure what the temperature was going to be like in DC, so I knitted myself a hat to wear.
I think that's great. It's so I don't know how it always comes out perfect.
Because I'm a really good knitter.
You're a really good knitter. Yeah.
I knitted you a hat one time.
I did. I still have it. I haven't gotten to wear it because I haven't been able to fly to any place where I can actually wear a hat. You know what I mean? It's kind of cool to do it in LA when lowest it gets is like, I mean, our mornings are, but I'm always in a hoodie in the morning.
Wow. So Joshua, I got to DC.
Okay.
I got to my hotel.
Okay.
And you know what? One of the first things I saw at my hotel was I am like right down in DC, and so I'm standing outside with the hotel, and what's going on in my hotel, and I don't know if this is like true of other hotels, but people are just like Trump people are like just hanging out in front of the hotel, like drinking and like whatever, and the police, there's a whole metric F ton of police in front of my hotel, and they're literally not letting people check into the hotel. They're not letting people like unload their bags and check into the hotel.
That's strange. Why?
It is. Because they're being police. I have no effing idea. Like, the police in DC are not our friends. They're not friends of Trump supporters. I'm going to tell you right now. They're absolutely not.
Well, Trump put out this tweet about what's going on in Washington. He like called for everybody.
Yes, he's called for everybody multiple times. So we're going to see. I'm really excited. I like, we need to do some psychiatry around what's going to happen tomorrow, because I kind of feel like Trump would not be summoning all of his minions to Washington, D.C. if he didn't have some sort of plan for what's going to go on tomorrow with Congress certifying the Electoral College votes. Okay.
So what are we looking at, though? When you say what's going on tomorrow,
okay.
That's general. Can we zone in on what you mean?
So tomorrow, that Congress is supposed... Fuck you, Joshua. I told you I was drunk, goddammit. This is not a secret. Hang on. Okay. So I see we have some super chats coming in. We're going to deal with the super chats in a second. Okay, I'm focused. Okay, we're going to do this question. So what is going on tomorrow is Congress is supposed to certify the votes from the Electoral College. But a whole metric F ton of Congress people, I can't say congressmen because that's a gendered term and we're not allowed to use gendered terms anymore.
You're going to trigger someone and you're going to get sued.
I'm going to get sued. Okay, and I'm going to get kicked off YouTube, so we can't use gendered terms. So Congress people, representatives, a whole metric F ton of them are going to be objecting to the certification, and a whole metric F ton of senators are going to be objecting to the certification. So we don't really know what's going to happen tomorrow insofar as all of the electoral votes are concerned. And also, Trump is speaking at a rally at in the Ellipse, which is right next to the White House, at 11 a.m. I'm going to be there, and he's going to do whatever Trump does. And Mike Pence is going to be presiding over the the proceedings to certify the votes, and we don't really know what he's going to do. There are rumors about what he might do. So I don't know. We need some psychic guidance on what is going to happen tomorrow, Joshua.
In regard to like what Trump's going to talk about and all of that.
Well, in regards to what is going to happen with the goddamn electoral votes.
Oh, okay. So you want to know whether or not it's going to be overturned, so to speak?
Look, this guy says you have your hands full tonight.
You are telling me. Yeah, I know.
I had no preparation for this at all. Joshua looks proper, and I showed up fucking sloshed.
Joshua is always proper, except when he's white trash, which is 9 days out of the week. So let's see. What's going to happen with the what is it?
See, you're drunk too. What is going to happen with the electoral college votes tomorrow?
So that means, though, that essentially right now we could find out whether or not it's going to get overturned and Trump's going to be the winner?
I mean, potentially, but also they could just prolong this process for another however many weeks, and Pence could potentially postpone it. People are talking about that. Pence could. Some people are talking about Pence wheeling in a Dominion voting machine and potentially running the electoral college votes through the Dominion voting machine and having it say that Trump won. Like, who knows? We literally don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. And anyone who says they do know what's going to happen tomorrow is a liar.
Okay, so you're going to have to piece this again together with me because I don't understand it. But we're going to ask what's going to happen with the electoral college votes tomorrow, right?
Yes.
And just say that for me.
What is going to happen with the electoral college votes tomorrow?
And tell me when I should stop shuffling on that.
Stop.
Very well. Let's see. Balance, the star, and 10 of swords. What
does it mean, Joshua? What does it mean?
So the balance card, something's going to be made right. There's going to be a balance or a decision that's made. Okay, but wait. We got to look at all the cards. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. With the balance card, something will be made right. There is going to be some kind of unexpected surprise with the star card.
An unexpected surprise. Excellent.
But then we have the 10 of swords.
Why?
I don't know why. But the 10 of swords is the end of a problem when it cannot get much worse.
What the fuck does that mean?
I feel like, 10 of swords, it's like case is closed, I think. However, your adjustment card and the star card, I would be prepared for something to be made right and something coming to awareness. There's going to be some kind of surprise. What happened? Yeah. And then it will be, with 10 of swords. That's the weird thing with this. It's almost a matter of, I think it might be a matter of they figure something out, but with 10 of swords, it's almost 10 of swords is really bottoming out. Do you really need 10 swords in your back? It's sort of like an overkill card. So almost what can we do? Do you know what I mean? So there's going to be some kind of balancing act. Something will be made right. There'll be some adjustment. There's going to be some kind of surprise that brings you to truth. And it's whoa, who knew? But then with 10 of swords, it's wah, wah.
God damn it, Joshua. That was not the ending that I wanted to that.
Well, you told me when to stop, so this is all on you.
Well, so that actually makes sense, though. I mean, the first two cards. We're going to ignore the last card for a second because I don't like it. And so we're going to just pretend you didn't pull that card for a minute. So that actually makes sense, though, because what's going to happen tomorrow is the electoral college votes are going to be presented or whatever. And then the Congress people are going to object and the senators are going to object. And then they're going to go into 2 hours of debate where basically they get to present the case about election fraud. That's what's going to happen tomorrow. And we don't know what they're going to present.
Yeah, well, I mean, it looked very, very positive. If you're looking for a turnover, this is really good, and the star card is really good. But with 10 of swords, it's sort of it's an end of a problem. It's it's reaching that climactic point of everything gets pulled to a head. I think that there will be closure with 10 of swords.
Can we get more insight into what that closure is going to be?
Yeah, let's see if I'm right that there will be closure. if there's closure.
Because Amanda says your interpretation is inaccurate.
Ooh, is it Amanda? Okay.
Which I know you really appreciate when people question your psychic tree.
So how do we phrase it?
Amanda says, I like Amanda better. Amanda says, Star card is Aquarius energy that can bring a revolution if people rise up into their power, Joshua.
Okay, I agree with that. I think that the Ten of Swords, I don't think the Ten of Swords bodes well, though, for what we're after. I hope I'm wrong, I hope I'm wrong. But let's see, what was the thing that we're looking at? Like, what's the next thing? Essentially.
I want more clarification on what is going to happen after the case of election fraud is presented.
Okay. What's going to happen after the case of election fraud is presented, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm going to stop shuffling on that.
Stop.
Okay. Nine of Discs, the completion card, and swiftness. So, this is good. This is reaching a climactic point. Venus is in Virgo, so there's good things here. With the completion card, again, there's going to be some form of completion that happens. Like there's going to be something that's like settled, and further emphasizing that is swiftness. So again, I think there'll be some kind of conclusion. I think that for whatever reason, so essentially this is about, just so I understand it better, like the results could be overturned and it's almost like, oh, okay, Trump becomes president. Is that what we're going for here?
I mean, it could potentially be that, yes.
Well, let's just go there and like figure that out, because these
Joshua,
are very...
Brandon says you don't like me when I'm drunk.
Oh no, that's not true. I like Carlin drunk. I always like Carlin. I like high Carlin. I like drunk Carlin. But let's see. Let's just go to the end. Will the votes be overturned? Because there's all of this like nonsense of like all this positive energy, but then again we get like Ten of Swords, we get swiftness. So let's
go to the end.
Go to the end. Will things be overturned and will Trump get nominated? Is that it? Or not nominated? Will Trump win the election? Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So will Trump, say this for me, please. Will Trump win the election?
Will Trump win the election?
And so I'm going to stop shuffling.
Stop.
Knight of Cups, Prince of Discs, Nine of Swords. I mean, this isn't a slam dunk, so it could be prolonged further. Yeah, I think that with the Knight of Cups, this could be prolonged, and they might not even have an answer, and they could conceivably stall the inauguration, right?
That is a possibility. Absolutely.
That's very probable. Because the thing is, we got Knight of Cups, right? What's wrong?
Okay, I would just take that as a win, to be honest. Like, if they stall the inauguration, I would take that as a fucking win.
Okay. Yeah, well, I mean, the star card's very, very positive about that. But with the Knight of Cups, this is almost like, it's sort of like things are emotionally ideal. So there's going to be somebody that talks, I don't know who, that's really very much like, mountains are made of cream and chocolate cake. Very, very, very idealistic. And then there's going to be something with the Prince of Discs that's much more pedantic and much more like grounded. Like, this is what we're dealing with, folks. And then with Nine of Swords, there's a lot of like mental stuff. So, yeah, I think that you're going to hear like there's hope, but then there's going to be somebody that winds up saying, yeah, but we're not quite there yet. Do you know what I mean?
Yes. Tommy says I'm 2 shots away from table dancing.
She is, or you are, Tommy?
Who knows? Keep going.
Yeah. But I think with Nine of Swords, yeah, I mean, it's interesting. I know that there's going to be something that comes up that's going to be pleasing to some people.
Excellent.
I think that's going to be the case. But again, it's so the energy for me, it's sort of like that basketball is like flirting with that rim, but it's not going in. You know what I'm saying?
Can we look at if the Trump supporters in DC are going to be happy with tomorrow's outcome?
Yeah, thank you. That's super helpful.
See, I can be helpful when I'm drunk too, Joshua.
You're always helpful, Carlin. You're always helpful, drunk or high, and always. Let's
goddamn right.
Phrase the question for me again.
Will the Trump supporters that are descending onto Washington, D.C.
Oh, hold on. Can we change that to how will the majority of Trump supporters feel after blah, 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 blah? Does that make sense?
How will the majority of Trump supporters feel about...
Excuse me.
God damn it, Joshua. Focus.
From the top. 5, 6, 7, 8.
How will the majority of Trump supporters feel with tomorrow's outcome?
And tell me to stop shuffling.
Stop.
Interference, Knight of Discs, and Prudence. So I think their minds are going to be a little bit like. Wait, no, this is not that card. This is Eight of Swords. We got the Five of Swords throughout the whole election when they were, something was wrong in Denmark. But the interference card is in the Rider deck. It's the woman who's like tied up and her hands are like tied behind her back. And
oh, okay, I know that card. Okay.
The thing is that she can untie herself, but this is when like. When we get on like a tear with something, like say something happens and like, I don't know, you're I don't know, you get a flat tire. Then all of a sudden you have a flat tire and you're like, now I'm not going to make it. And now I'm going to be late and everybody's going to hate. And then you just go on this like tear and everything's like against you. And really it was just a flat tire. So the Trump supporters need to like get their head and not overthink things. Then with the Knight of Discs, I think that they'll be stable, a little bit more, grounded. They're not jumping up and down, but then Prudence. So I think that there's more. They're going to be feeling as if they need to be, careful and cautious. But I do think that with this card, Carlin, things are coming along nicely. This is sort of like the garden is growing a little bit. You know what I mean? It's not, it's not 100% there. And there are still patches of soil that are messed up. But I think that they're going to be taking a wait and see approach. That's the big thing that I get.
Fan-effing-tastic. I just want this shit show to go on as long as humanly possible. I think I have reached the phase of my red pill journey where I'm just like, I just want chaos. I want people to not know what the F is going on. I want as much chaos as humanly possible. That would be my preference in this scenario.
Okay. Yeah. I think in the beginning there's going to be some kind of like just mental spiral, but then I think that they're going to get, grounded. I think it's sort of like work needs to be done. Like there's no more work that needs to be done. And there's probably going to be something that he's going to ask people to do.
All right. Excellent. Well, we're going to find more information about that in a second. And I see your super chats coming in along this topic. But Ken, who is one of my favorite people because he says I look thinner in person, Joshua. Ken wants to know, what is Carlin drunk off of? What's that? No! You are such a dirty liar. No, I am drunk off of champagne and on occasion orange juice that I had many of on my first class upgrades on my flights to DC.
That's really good.
See, that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't see any problem with this.
Like if one day I want to do like almost like an essay of like what's the difference between like a beer buzz and a champagne buzz, because they're all very. Yeah, I think that's a really good idea. Yeah,
I think that's a very good idea.
They're all very different, but you have to have like a week of alcoholism. So you do it on Monday, and then you get sober. It's almost like the perfumes. You have to smell like coffee, and then do you know what I mean?
Can I work on this project with you? Can we do this together, Joshua? Can we get drunk together?
Yeah,
on many different things.
we did in Boston, if you remember. That was really, really fun.
We did.
Really fun. Good thing I was drinking because it was so cold. And you were wearing a freaking shawl.
I was not wearing a shawl. I was wearing my Marled Magic sweater, which I'm now knitting another version of for Adam Quigler. It was very warm and comfortable. It was full of merino wool, Joshua. I was fine. You were more cold than me.
I was freezing to death. Yeah, it was cold.
It was. Yeah.